one more, which was like, why do coaches have coaches? I think this is like a very popular question. Like a lot of people ask this. And if you guys want to begin, yeah.
I
Because
have
you
like
already has
yeah.
you always have somebody else who knows more than you, who's better than you, so that you can learn from them. And also when it comes to your own training or your own life, you might not be as objective because you have your emotions coming
Yeah.
into decision making. So you might sit there and think like, oh, this thing, even if 1 week doesn't go well, you'll start sitting there and thinking like, no, I need to change everything, whereas that's not required maybe. So you'll just sit there and be like, I need to do this, I need to do that, and your coach will be like, you need to relax, and then you'll just relax because you're like, yeah, my coach told me he'll handle it, right? So you don't have to think about or stress about your own things. You'll be feeling a lot better with your own things when you have somebody else handle these things for you, and you get the opportunity to learn and see things from a different lens. Like you might have the same educational background and understanding as your coach, maybe, right? Because most people, maybe they graduated from same university, they did the same degree, they read the same kind of books. That might be similar, but then as you grow, like over time, you're just like, somebody has a very unique way of looking at a certain problem or how to solve
Yeah.
a problem, and you might get access to their thought process, right?
Just their framework being different.
Yeah, when you're like, oh, you did this, which is something that I wouldn't have done, so why do you do that? And then they'll be like, yeah, I feel like this is something that you can do, this is something that you can improve on, maybe like that's the reason why I gave it, and that opens another avenue for you to understand, like, yeah, this is another way of doing things.
I feel objectivity is one of the most common reasons, I would say, why you need a coach. Like no matter, like, even if you do know, I can't speak for everybody, but yeah, after a point, there'll come like a point in your training where there'll be too many emotions involved, as you just said. And at that point, knowing what to do for yourself, you may be able to handle it very well. For other people, being like a third party, just a third perspective, but like for yourself, there's always like a little bit of a bias involved, which you don't want for good progress.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, because see, as much as people think like I have my shit together, I also get very upset when things don't go well for me training wise.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not so like interested anymore in like competing and stuff like that, but I still want to be strong.
Yeah.
So when my sessions don't go too well, I also get pretty upset. So that's still there for me as well. But if I were to do it for myself, I would just get very upset and flustered. But if I had somebody else handling it for me, I would just be like, yeah, that, like, let them do their thing.
It's done. We're done with the session, going home.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then, like,
Just give your feedback to the coach. Let that guy figure out why it happened, what happened, and just move on. That's going to help you.
So like I also like I still like have mentorship calls with Norman as well, because sometimes you will just I'll just think of some stuff, and like Norman once told me like I have a tendency to create monsters that don't exist, or like fears that shouldn't exist. Right? He just tells me it's like you had a block with someone that didn't go according to plan. I've had like 8 of them, right? Just in the last month, because of the breadth of like experience he may have, right? I always love the fact that he gives so much perspective on things, and he can always learn, dude. Like I honestly like the way, like, for example, he taught me how to think, and I like people can teach you things all the time, and like sometimes like I'll work with a guy called Ben on like strength and conditioning, but like on technical aspect, because he is the best like striking athlete in India at this point. It's like he gives me so much of value just in terms of that stuff, and I was like, at some point, I want to kind of work with him to get back into boxing shape and stuff like that. Could I train myself? Probably get in shape, but I don't think I'd ever make a right decision choice in that situation, especially knowing my temperament. It's just not something I have it in me. Matt Bernard and Mike Teixeira are the exceptions, I'd say.
Yeah. We also talked about this last podcast where we talked about how, it's a matter of integrity also to handle or hand people out to somebody else in things that you are not good at.
Yeah.
Yes.